I'm hitting live again.
Oh, there. Now it's back to live.
Again. No. What happened? It hiccuped? That's very weird because we were fine.
Yeah, we're having the best conversations
Angel
ever.
Bear, can you hear us?
Oh, now it's coming back.
I mean, it possibly could be the storms. What is going on? Negative.
That is weird.
I mean, I hear you. You hear me fine, right?
Yeah, now I hear you fine. Well, I always heard you fine, but do you still hear me fine?
LFG. So Jay, you can hear us now. I just don't know. Okay, now it is saying it is live on YouTube again. So I could see it from my phone that it's back live.
Yeah, we're good to go now.
10:42 Central Time. Hey, Christine. Christine, could you hear us before? I would hate to know that it wasn't there.
Especially when we revealed Rich Guy right now. They didn't hear that? Oh, too bad. Just kidding.
I don't know.
No, I think we're good to go now. Everyone's saying they could hear us.
Right. Sonny, was it the last like 8 minutes maybe? We're good. Yeah, no, we're good to go now. Let's get back to where we were.
So have you been able to hear me okay now that
your audio's doing
sorted out? Oh, yeah.
It could be StreamYard. It's a possibility.
I'll come back in. I'll sign out and sign back in. I'll be back.
Okay. All right, Fig's gonna come right back. He's gonna sign out and come right back. He's having audio problems. Sorry, everybody. It could be the weather. That's possible. Hey, Todd. We were live since 11 o'clock. It said it was live up in the top corner. I don't know. It could be that StreamYard's just having an issue tonight. I apologize, but we've been on for 40 minutes. Mama, I'm sorry. I don't know. This is very strange. It's very strange that it wasn't working. I'm just waiting for Fig. Fig's here.
I'm back.
Beautiful.
Hopefully I sound better now.
You do. Yeah, you're better. It could just be a connection. I mean, they're just getting, a lot of people are just getting a live notification now. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Weird. Now they're 56 watching again. Okay. All right.
You know, I'm sorry, everybody. I apologize. It said, in the top right corner where it goes red and it says end broadcast. That was running the whole time. And now it went, I had to click to go live again. I'm learning, everybody. I'm sorry. It's a learning curve, but it was on. I'm not sure. Got mine at 10:40. Yeah, maybe it just went live. All right, let's get back. Should we talk? I don't think they heard the whole signature stuff, which is tough. Going over that.
Where's Mrs. Fig? Just curious.
Your audio's doing it again.
Oh my word.
I just think it might be StreamYard tonight. It's not you.
Yeah, it's not cooperating. I was all right earlier, but we weren't using StreamYard, so maybe it's the StreamYard and the storms and everything. I don't know. Oh, now the notification just went out. Can't hear me?
0 out of 5. Dwayne, you're able to hear Fig? Because I can't hear him at all. Hey, JT. What's up, man?
Oh.
It could be from the storms, everybody. I apologize. I don't really know what happened.
Okay, they hear us both.
Fig sounds fine on this end.
Yeah.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Crystal clear. Okay.
Let me see if I mute you and unmute you. How about now? You could hear me 5 by 5?
I could hear you.
No.
Oh, they say we're good.
I'm on YouTube and I can hear both of you great. That's wonderful. I can't hear Fig.
Uh-oh. Well.
Snicker, it's not, but don't worry, we're gonna keep going, so it's okay. I don't really know what happened. I just think StreamYard might be having a little, something going on because of the weather, and it didn't click all the way over. But we've been on for about 42 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, technology.
Nothing fig. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you great. So maybe it's some with your headphones. Maybe it's some with your headphones.
Yeah, my computer volume's all the way up. I haven't touched the volume. All the way up.
Jiggle your cords around. I don't know. Sometimes if you have like Bluetooth on your phone or something, it'll try and like interrupt you. I don't know. April Fools.
Golly, I'm sorry. We were live. I'm not really sure what happened. Yeah, it didn't. I don't know. I guess when we end it, maybe the beginning will be there. I'm not sure.
So let's ask, did you guys hear about the signature?
Fig, maybe drop on and come back in, because when you came back in, I heard you fine.
Okay. All right, I'll do it.
No. He's gonna pop out and pop back in. Canadian girl, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, because they were hearing us before, and then it stopped maybe 12, 13 minutes ago. How about now?
How about now? How about now? Did you hear me?
No.
No? Ay.
I can't believe this.
Well, maybe I'll sign off.
Let's see, I'm going audio.
I'll be in chat. I know it's
audio is all on.
No Bluetooth.
Yeah, I would love to take two in action, but Mandy, I can't hear him. But you hear me.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Yeah.
Hey, AJ, how are you?
Now you got 80 people. Ooh, people here. Oh, I kind of heard myself there.
Talk again.
They hear us both fine.
I hear you now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Okay.
I don't know what happened either. Very strange. Dude, I sound fine now, right?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Good. Okay, let's go. All right. Sorry, everybody. Who has questions in the chat? Ask away. I want to take your questions, because I feel horrible. I don't know why it wasn't working. Yeah, Christina, it could be the storm. We've been on for 44 minutes.
No, so start from scratch.
Totally public, even when I posted the countdown.
You pre-show warm up.
Yeah.
I want to start from the top. We're talking about signatures. I don't know if they caught that.
We talked about signatures. We talked about staging, and what the total difference is basically staging would be you're staging the scene to lean law enforcement in a certain way. And that could mean many different things. That could even mean, the non-secular items that possibly were left. Signatures would be the person doing it for themselves, to take something, with them, kind of like their way of remembering, the murders.
Mm-hmm. And then I was saying, it could be a picture that they take. You said it's possible. It could be a lock of hair.
Hair.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a piece of jewelry, an earring. It could be so many different things. Now, Anna, we don't know for a fact what they are. We're just talking about the difference between signatures and staging. It was a question on the community post.
Mm. And then JT asked if you heard about the interview.
Which one? Yours?
The one that I did. So, dang, did they?
I'm getting brought up to speed on it. I am getting brought up on the speed on it. It sounds like it's going to be pretty impressive. Are you going over it tomorrow?
We went over it earlier today, but Bloke is going to make sure that all the names, he thought he did it. The person wasn't mentioned. It wasn't that air. None of the females were mentioned, their names, but there was a person of interest. Their last name was still on there. So he said he wants to go through one more time before we release it. But
100%, just make sure everything's cool, keeps her safe, that's all we could do.
Yeah, and we had her look at it too before we did our recap today. we sent it to her, and until she gave us a green light, we weren't going to do it. So she did. She went through and said, all right, I approve of what you guys are going to say. So, yeah.
Listen, that's great, you know.
And it also, do it the right way.
Also can help people who have been through it and don't want to talk about it. Hearing somebody else talk about it, you know, it does help, you know, like anything else. It's a tough thing, you know, because you feel exploited. You don't feel safe. You know, you just, you know, she knew one of the people, but I don't know if the other, whoever else is involved is following you around. You know, it's a really scary situation when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. So Bart says, I think it's one person. How about you guys?
Bart, you know, there was a belief for a while that it could absolutely be one person, but I'm really tending to believe it's multiple, you know, at least 2 plus. And that's just my opinion on just what I'm seeing. You know, it's not a definite.
Well, and then like the specific question is 2 people at the bridge that day, or was it one? Like, so I think there's more than, yeah, definitely one person involved to.
Well, we know BG and what Libby was able to film shows one person. Mm-hmm. We don't know who's at the, you know, behind them at the end of the bridge. There's somebody in waiting for them to, you know,
for the crime
encounter at 213, you know, and I said it multiple times that was there, you know, to gain control? Was there duct tape used on the mouth, on the hands, zip ties on the hands, duct tape on the mouth? We just, you know, it's all hypotheticals until we really hear it. But that would explain why there was no screams, you know. Not that there were a lot, not as we see that, you know, from even the pictures that were out there with from Cheyenne. There's nobody on the bridge. From one side to the other. I know. I actually they asked me to look at those pictures, and before I gave an honest opinion, I wanted somebody to look at it. Somebody with like 2 decades experience, photo editing software. He looked at it. He said, you know, there's nothing there. You know, it's pixelation. You can make yourself think you see things. He broke down each image, bushes, branches, broke down what he saw, a barrel underneath. You know, he went really thorough in what he saw. So that's just, you know, that's my view on it. I don't believe there's anything to it. You know, BG inquired on 213. Why 45 minutes plus later would they be back there? Or even, you know, I know there's somebody, you know, possibly saying that the murders were committed on the bridge. Law enforcement has told us that, you know, the crime was committed where they were found. There's no reason to not believe that. There's no, you know.
Right. I'm a stats guy, so I would say statistically, one person, I would go with that being the highest probability. Just because that's all I have visual evidence of there being one person, and I was told there's the voices of one person. So to go outside of that, now if I'm just to not use stats and go with my gut based off of circumstantial evidence, I would say there's at least 2 people.
Yeah,
but I'm sure most people feel like that.
I agree. You know, I just think with the way it's described as how weird the crime scene was, you know, were there people there waiting, you know, for the girls to be brought there? You know, I hate to even talk about it because it's horrific because it's real. You know, it's not a movie. This is real. These are 2 kids that were, you know, walked. They were walked to their kill zone. It's terrible. You know, when you think about how terrible it is, it's a very
story. Sorry to interrupt, but you're in triple digits now, so there's 107 people watching.
Wow!
So,
hello,
awesome.
everybody. Thanks for being here.
That's super cool.
I wish I wish it worked out earlier. We were talking away, and I don't know if anybody heard us. We had a great conversation, though.
It was the best I've ever had.
It said we were live. It said it had the red that it was on. I have no idea. I'm just looking through to see what we got here in the questions because a lot of people here. I want to take their questions for sure.
Yeah, and sleuth because I got to hop off here.
Oh, dude, whenever you got to go, it's fine. Don't worry about it. If you got to
I
go
got
now
like
and eat,
2 minutes.
do your thing. I
I
have no
mean,
problem with it.
to
I
keep
could
my
go out.
beautiful wife waiting, I don't.
No, you
That's
can't leave your wife
that's
waiting.
risky.
My
I'll
wife
I'll
was
be in
pushing
chat though.
on. She said, "You better get on your live and not be late." I said, "I'm not going to be late. I'm trying to fix this video." I spent 2 hours getting it ready and getting pieces together, and it just didn't want to work. Hey, Susan, how are you? Thanks, JT. You're a good man. Tech Debt's in the house too, huh? Let's see Tech Debt. I got to check out his music. I didn't get a chance last night. The girl's Roman. If you hear the clicking, she's Roman.
Yep. Happy wife, happy life. I know. So,
That's it.
well,
Fig,
thanks.
do your thing, man. If you got to go,
Okay.
go. I appreciate you, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you, and way to rock it on your first one.
Thank you, man.
Congrats. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Talk soon.
All right, so Fig had to go. Fig has been on with me for a long time, 52 minutes. I don't know what happened, but let's get some questions. What do you guys want to ask? Keegan Klein is definitely the BG, Duke says. Duke, it's a possibility. I just, my opinion on Keegan is he doesn't fit it just doesn't fit who he is. Yes, he's met a girl who brought a friend in a park. There was no violence. We haven't seen much of any violence from him. His stepbrother does talk about violence, but we haven't seen any. That's one thing we haven't seen. What he's done is disgusting, but at the same time, we haven't seen anything to show that he's the violent one. Is there a firefighter that wanted to cross creep? Ellie would not let him. Kathy, I think it's the other way around, and I think that's only, you have to remember something. Where the creeks are, you have the little sand on both sides, but you can't go up on somebody's property. And we know where the girls were found was Ron's property, so you can't just cross up on somebody. You're trespassing. Yes, you're looking for two girls, but you still have to get the okay from the homeowner. So that could be a high possibility that it was a firefighter that told one of the searchers they couldn't walk over there. They couldn't go up there. Do you think this was planned? Lynn says, do you think this was planned? It's highly likely. It looks like it was planned out the whole way. From the way the crime scenes described, from the initial contact, nobody's seeing them. I mean, we don't even know if definitely BG was seen. That's not even, we have the two sketches. Sketch one isn't good anymore, but at the same time, we don't know. What if, yes, KK and TK were catfishing Libby, and that is just a coincidence? Okay, it's a good question. But it's 5 years later, and we see that they're still pressing Keegan for information. He's got 30 charges over his head, no plea deal in sight. They're looking for something, and look at him. Look look what jail's doing to him. Prison's not going to be any better. Just not. CD, what's your analysis so from what you read and seen? On the crime as a whole, I'm leaning to it's multiple people. And what their roles are is what would tell me that it's more than three. And I don't really want to touch that yet because it's way too much speculation as what the other two people would be doing there. And at the same time, I don't want to go too far out where people are like, oh my God, I think Klein was arrested. The cops let him stay free because no. CB, I'm sorry, but we went over that for like 15 minutes earlier, and I know there was a hiccup. But the reason so Keegan, they go at his house February 25th, 2017. They get his devices. He holds back the 5C. I'm trying to bring up your question. Yeah. He holds back the 5C, has his polygraph, goes back home. He says now the device is on his microwave. He lets ISP know. They get it within, I don't know, it was like 5 to 7 days, whatever the exact figure was. So they get analyzing everything. So the problem is that ISP was there, FBI was there on the search warrant. The After Anthony Shots comes out, ISP says, we made a mistake. It was not intentional, but we have to do better when talking about why Anthony Shots and Keegan were still out there. So to me, it's just a hiccup with Peru is Miami County. Carroll County could be who signed the search warrant. Could even be a federal judge. We just don't know who signed it. So they'd never forwarded over all the data to Miami County. And that's why it went on for 3 years. Just trying to see what else are the questioning. Virtual hug. Thank you. Hey Bart, just don't think 2 or 3 people could keep their mouths shut this long. Well, if it's if you're in fear of somebody, you won't say a word. You know, if you know there's a person that would take you out in a second, are you going to talk to anybody about it? I wouldn't. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, we're seeing a very violent past with somebody that he's able to flip the switch real quick. Let's see, Brett. It's true that Liberty received the worst of the murders, and it's true that Liberty was named now to count Liberty. Yeah, Brett. I mean, the problem is we don't know if all of the texts are 100% legit. We just don't know that. But if they are legit, then yeah, I mean, it is showing what happened. I just we got to see when Ellie finally tells us what the cause of death is. To me, the way it's described, the way I hear Sergeant Riley talk about the audio and how one of the girls was very frightened and it kept him up for 6 to 8 months, that tells me that it's not just the audio, it's the crime scene of what they ended up rolling up on. And to me, it's a weighted weapon, weighted bladed weapon. Herman, how do they search a home and leave a phone out in the open like that? Well, we weren't there. Did one of them just grab it and throw it on top of the microwave when nobody's looking? There was a lot of cops there. They initially talked to TK from what it looks like. It doesn't say his name, but it's his house. It's his accounts. So they wanted to talk about the Comcast router, make sure it was secure. And it seemed to be a very brief conversation with him. It was all focused on Keegan, but Keegan says he got home until Barbara. He got home and it was on the counter. And then from what we see in the other transcript, he said it was above the microwave. So, we'll figure that one out pretty easily. I always said it was hidden. I said, did they pull up and law enforcement rolled up on them and he threw it under the seat in Daddy's car? So it does make sense that it was hidden. Let's see. In the transcripts, in your opinion, have you noticed many discrepancies or inaccuracies as you read through it? Got to give me more. What do you mean? You got to remember it's 194 pages and it is a lot to digest. There could be just things around, and it's also a key response line. You could tell, like even in the beginning when he describes the subscription weed business he had. Think about how in depth he went with that. Just remove the word weed and put in CSAM. Sounds like a subscription service, like a Netflix for that. He made sure to keep describing weed. Didn't seem like weed to me. That's just my opinion. Only an opinion. One reason he said in the past is changing gears. Yeah. Yep. I did a video on switching gears in the 2019 presser. It did. A lot of it sounded like it was aimed at somebody that likes racing. Russian, we don't know. Let's put it this way: if you or possibly the aim in a double homicide. You're most likely going to lawyer up and not talk to the cops. That's any lawyer would tell you not to speak to them. So we don't know. We don't know if he's lawyered up or if he has spoken to them further. That's unknown. I would love to know. We will know eventually, but we don't know now. I believe the crime was photographed and recorded. Hmm, That would explain more people being there, but we don't know. That we don't know. Is there a way for them to put together all the audio BG to have an audio together to get a voice match? Christine, that depends on what else they have. We know they have more audio. There could be more video. From what they described, those were the only words that BG spoke. So you can't reproduce the sound effects that were going on. Sounded like crunching. Could it have been wind? Could it have been tree branches? We don't know what the sounds are in the background of that small sample. So it's very hard to reproduce that to give an accurate reading. I mean, when somebody fits that, if it ends up being that person, will it sound like it? Yeah, it's high likely, but I don't think you're going to get the perfect match because you can't make what was going on with nature. To Would depend entirely on if they allow cameras in the courtroom. That's if it's going to be broadcasted. Case like this, you would think it would, but we keep seeing things being blocked. Even the Barry, I know Sonny watches that Barry, is involved with that Barry Morphew, and they work their angles to keep cameras out. Just catching up. This is really flying along here. No, it's tough, but do you think they are close to bringing charges to somebody? Um, I've said it openly. I've said it a few times. I think, and this is just an opinion. I'm getting words bended every which way. I think by June, um, we might see arrests. Just my opinion. I'm just going off what I see. I don't have the case file, so I couldn't tell you definitely. That's just my opinion. Why do you got to put the last one in there? Come on, come on. Let's be real. Skip that. Hmm. Wow, climbing here, gaining people. Well, I like it. Wow. I wish I went on earlier. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I really embarrassed. Tamara, 100%. 100%. And Dropbox interested me enormously when I saw that because the capability of giving one person one picture. Here you go. Here's a breadcrumb from Keegan. That was just Pandora's box. And look what it turned into. The largest CSAM case in Indiana state history, which when you think about who it's coming from, he's Kagan named, and we found that he's named after a strip club. It just shows you, the upbringing he had. Fits the profile. Block and face, Tony Klein block and Facebook yesterday today, which is interesting. Wow. Espen, did anybody else look? Did he block everybody, or did he take his account offline? I mean, he's getting, he's got the news. People from the news are banging his door down. Do you see that guy? That guy banged on his door like he was the police. That was aggressive. What's up, Grizz? I know you've been waiting for a live. I'm here, man. Pancake, do you still believe TK is one of the multiple people you believe that committed the crime? Um, it, Pancake, we got to follow the evidence. That's why this. That's why I had to say something to somebody the other day because Just things are getting wacky. Follow the evidence and let it lead you where it's going. They're aiming at him for a reason. Keegan has not shown violence. We know he met a girl who brought a friend to the park. He got upset that she brought a friend. We did not hear about any violence. What does that tell you? Let me check, Aspen. Hold on. That's interesting. We're going to look right now. Oh, no, he's there. He don't like you. Aspen, he doesn't like you. I don't know what you did. I don't know. Maybe he thought you were knocking on his door. Jen, you can't see him either? He's there. I just looked. I could see him. Ronnie Bald blows my mind. They have no DNA. In my opinion, something went wrong with collection or someone put themselves in the search. We don't know. We don't know if they have what DNA they have, what's kind of sample or whatnot. The way law enforcement converged on this, you had the FBI there right after the girls were found. I don't think it was anything botched. You had the FBI, you had the United States Police come there with their crime lab. I don't think it was botched. It just depends what was there. We don't know. We just don't know. Did she say that? I didn't listen to the entire thing, but I didn't. From what I heard, he has never threatened violence. I mean, that's interesting if he did. But he's watched videos like this, just spot blocking people. It's possible, Anna. It is possible. He could be definitely taking it in, or friends of his. You never know. Listen, at the end of the day, I mean, just watching the news, people they're banging on his door. You know, with these documents coming out, it's putting him as a number one, the ace of spades. That's where it's aiming. Well, Christine, if he even said that, him saying that is enough. I mean, that doesn't mean he's going to do it, but he is threatening violence there. Already quoting lines, wasn't it just different name? Scroll up. Trying to catch up. This chat is popping. I feel bad, you all. Me and Figure and I have to get back together because we had a good convo going, and it seems like it knocked out for 20 minutes or something. Yes, please do subscribe here. Getting some stones thrown at me by a certain somebody, but it's all good. I asked them to debate me, so we'll see. We'll get it done. Brett, I mean, is he? I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Nothing anybody has seen has tied him towards them, but Ellie's not giving us anything else, and I know they're not happy that the document got released. They just can't be. It just not that, and I know people are saying, well, can murder sheets be in trouble that it was on there? It was put on. It was put up on the chart. You know, he's an attorney, and he was able to grab it. You know, it's a tough situation, and I know it was tough on the family. This is not an easy case. This is real. These were real girls, and I know some people, they don't, their heads goes different ways, but this is as real as it gets. The video you see of Bridge Guy closing in is him closing in to gain control and take them to the kill zone, and it's horrific. Just think of it that way. It's horrific. I wish I could have been on that trail that day and saved those girls. It's terrible when you think about how terrible anybody, any a father, even a mother, they would have did anything possible to save those girls. It's very sad, very sad. Has been seen. It's interesting that he's actually blocking people. How does he? I mean, does anybody know on Facebook if there's a way for somebody to see who's looking at their profile? I know there was like a fake thing back in the day, and it would just kind of like scramble your friends, but I don't think there's a way to see who's looking at your profile. He said he should have cut her throat. He didn't say he was going to. Oh, this is chat. It's exploding. Yeah, it is hard. Aspen, it's hard. It is. It's heart wrenching. People don't get it. You know what any person would do to have tried to help those girls that day. You know, it's really terrible. Law enforcement didn't really try to get to the murder sheet, not to be pancake. You got to remember something. Even if think of it this way, right? Murder sheet. They did. They got it. They did the right thing. Listen. We have this document. We're going to release it. What is law enforcement going to say? Please don't. What is that going to do? They're going to do it anyway. They're entitled to it. They got it. It's not like they hacked into the system. Somebody made an error. You know, an error is an error, but it put it out there, and it does it put a little hot pepper on law enforcement, to move a little further. It could. Duke, what's the reason to put pressure on them? The pressure's there. You know, look what they were there. What, the end of December? End of November was the last search warrant at the house that we know of. I'm sure Keegan has somehow hinted to his dad when his dad visiting him that they're looking at you. He could just give a look and make his father know. His father knew. We don't know if he was interrogated ever. We don't know if he's lawyered up. We have no idea. But one day we will. We'll know more one day. Can they be? I don't think so, Christine. I don't think so. I really don't. And when you're weighing it out and you want to go morally or whatever, it's fair game. Not that this case is fair game. This case is horrendous, but it's an error happened which put it up. They were able to get it. There was no computer hack into the system and stealing anything. It was published. It was a published document, and they were able to grab it. They violated the terms of service for having credentialed login and using it for their gain. Jingo, we talking about Murder Sheets getting access to the document? He's an attorney, so he's able to access the site. If that's who we're talking about, I got to scroll up a little more. They went over it with Beck. Oh, Aspen, I just saw your comment. That gave me a chuckle, man. Counted that boxing match take place on the bridge. That's really funny. They went over with Becky and family. MS did Becky said, yeah, and we all know that no matter what, this document wasn't going to go over well with them, because they're just every piece that turns it over, and the hope that comes with it that we're going to get there. We're going to get these families. Even when somebody's arrested, it doesn't close. This never goes away. So just this being out there and now knowing that they were told for 5 years there was nothing to do with social media, and now they're seeing that it most likely was. It hurts. It definitely hurts. That's hysterical. That is so funny. Yeah. We'll see what he says later. I don't know. He put a video up on me saying that he wants a debate. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. I mean, I won't give all the reasons because I don't know how far along they are, but there's many reasons that you sit on a house. You sit on a house to, if you're in unmarked cars, somebody will never know you're there. And I've done it for a case that went on for 18 months. Different rental cars, nonstop. Once that person saw the rental and we felt it was burned, we'd go right back, get a new car. We had 6 rental cars. It was a wild case. It was amazing. But you're figuring out patterns. You want to see their patterns daily. because we're creatures of habit. We're humans, so we really stick to things. And then if you're trying to gain access to things and maybe put a GPS on something, it goes pretty deep. But we'll leave it at that. I'm scrolling. Ronnie, it sounded, I don't know 100%, but it sounded like Kelsey used um, either her device or Libby's iPad that was at the police station. And there was no, from what we're gathering, there was nothing to make anything hinted that he had anything to do with Libby, except for, talking to her, that they were, they spoke. So that's what it was left at, you know? Yeah, is that true? I never knew that. Whenever you look at someone's Facebook page a lot, Facebook makes you a follower of that person. So maybe that's why he does have like, I want to say like 600 followers. And now I'm clicking on it again. Now it's at 148. That was a lot higher the other day. I don't even want to click on that because I don't want to get blocked. I don't care if he knows who I am. I could care less. Geofence. I like this. Mandy, this is I like this. I just saw Geofence warrants were first utilized 2016 because be new tech. It's part of new direction. Well, we know that they were getting a geofence on Keegan's devices. That's how they knew he was lying when he said he was at his grandparents, and he wasn't. So let's see. Considering driver vehicle WG, which was 2 years old, wasn't new and sold obtained. We just don't know if everybody had phones. We don't know the amount of people there. We don't know how many had phones. You know, walkie talkies would also work, and that wouldn't leave a trace. So we got to think of that too. Let's go down. Trying to keep up. Huh. Wait, JLo, crack me up when you said, "Does JLo?" I don't know what that means. I did say that I made a mistake with the time, and it was April Fool's. I don't know if somebody else said it, April Fool's. What's up, misbehaved? Good job on your live the other day. Very good job. I had Fig here. We were talking for 40 minutes. I think only 10 people were here because it didn't post up on YouTube. So I think StreamYard, because of the storms that are going on, pick up my first live, but it's okay. We're here now. Well, Angel, I didn't say he talked through. I mean, that's now we're going even further. We don't know. It's so hard to say, because the way we see BG walk, it's such a short clip. Was that like a live photo where you get multiple shots into it that you could hold down and you see him walking? That's possible, but we don't know if a walkie-talkie was used that would distort the voice. You did a live the other day, right? I know. I was watching it. Oh, now you're joking with me, really? All right. I had a bad night, but now you're still joking. It's all right. Me and Fig talked for 35 minutes. Nobody was here. Christine, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. I love how you are not ignored. I'm here. The comments are exploding on my side, and I don't want to go into YouTube to slow them down and knock everybody off. This is a learning curve for me. But give me a question and I will search it right now and I will answer it. The next question you have, I will answer it right now. Who's being rude? Pancake's all right. They arrested a dude and charged him with murder for being on camera in a Walmart parking lot. Hensley, I get it, but we're gonna find eventually we will find out the reason why this is going on 5 years, and that could come down to the conversation we had before with when I was talking to Fig about signatures and staging. And staging would throw law enforcement off because you're trying to leave things there to make them look elsewhere. So that's a high possibility. We just don't know, you know. And I went into like, could it have been, you know, more in depth of, I hate even saying it because we just don't know. But when you hear non-secular, sorry, it's, you know, could it be religious or could it be a cult? And that's, if you look up the definition, with a crime scene, it could go either way. Pancake, thank you. Hey, I try to be rational. This is a tough case, and when when people aren't rational, you know, people can get hurt. When you're putting out videos and you're calling out somebody's wife and their toddler, nobody wanted to say anything. I did. I told him he was wrong. You want to attack me? Go ahead. I don't care. But you don't just. It's just wrong. Yeah, you're right. You know, it's Carter's thing. We have to go with what we know, not what we think. Most of them have dash cams, some have body cams, though. Jing, a majority of police patrol vehicles have dash cams now. Majority. You know, it depends on budgets and that kind of stuff. I mean, look at Carroll County. They didn't have a canine in the state around. They were trying to get canines from outside the state. So what does that tell you? It comes down to budget, man. It's tough. It really is. Thanks, Angel Bear. I'm trying to, Christina. I got your comment there. I was waiting for a question. It wasn't there though. Question. So I think maybe we spoke an email. Uh, it's hard to say. It's, you know, it's just hard to see. But I will take a look again. It is hard to see. Even if he's not wearing a headset with a mic, could he have been using a walkie-talkie? 100%. You know, in one frame that we were looking at, it did look like there was some kind of rectangular dark device in his left hand. Could that have been pixelation? It's possible, but you know, could be anything. GFS warrants will get locations. Yeah. Mhm. Susan, it is. I get it, but it's not a deep fake like somebody put on YouTube a probably about 6 8 weeks ago, and I told him too. You know, don't take away her bravery. Don't take that away from her family. The girl was beyond brave. She was smart. They knew something was wrong. They knew somebody was closing in on them, and they did everything they possibly could. How will Ellie justify not arresting? I went through this. To me, it's disastrous, but Indiana State Police addressed it. They said that it wasn't intentional, but they have to do better. And it sounds like Carroll County, Indiana State Police, FBI were on a search warrant at Keegan's house. The devices were analyzed. They never forwarded the data to Miami County to prosecute them, and that's just what it looks like. It sucks, but that's just what it looks like. They never gave it to the other county. I thought the transfer was supposed to be put on a page for certain people. It was digital. It was supposed to be put in this file, in the file, and not like a public side, but it was put on the public side, and lawyers were able to grab it. You know, it's tough, but it was an error, and it was an error. But it's not like they got it illegally. It was there. Hey AJ, thank you. Appreciate it. So true, and that's 100%. Yeah, I mean, who's here for other things? What's the motivation for that? This is a tough case. It is tough. 100% tomorrow if they're signatures and not staging. If they're staging, that is different. That's to you're staging the crime scene to let law enforcement go this way and not towards you. That's the difference. Hensley, I get it. I mean, I know. I don't know much about. I know. Listen, any small area politics. There's politics everywhere. There's corruption in big cities. You know, it's everywhere. There's nothing you can do about that. CD, I heard there was a trail cam by Mears Gate by the Y that showed everyone that came in that direction. I've heard that too, and I just don't know enough about it. And if it was on, wasn't it said that there was another camera there that wasn't on? But we do know that that was taken by Libby. A trail cam wasn't right on the bridge. It's impossible. But that's people's mindset. They think they know. I'm trying to keep up. You guys are really blasting away. I guess it's good that Fig went and ate because there's a lot of questions coming. Keep getting kicked off YouTube, really, no question. But Christina, it's the facts. There's no deep fake. Libby was brave. She held up her phone while an animal was closing in. Did you see the video out that some was showing cameras on? Too many. The pixels make so many things appear. It's very hard. I have to make mods. I'm not crossing over to YouTube right now because I don't want to knock everybody off. JT, since the beginning of this case, Carroll County and ISP, Carroll County being the lead, they had the Orion system from the FBI, and that's what was able to categorize the tips. They would have never been able to handle the tips that came in if they weren't getting categorized. That might also be why Carter said they have to hire 60 to 80 people when the arrest is made to go over everything, because they have to go back and see. They basically want to know when they arrest somebody, was the tip here? Was it here? And we just didn't see it. That's hard. What's up, Frank Meister? How are you? So then, but a totally different context. Oh, yeah. He was actually fine with it. He said it's just my theory. It was the people in the chat that you go against somebody, they come at you. But sorry, I'm not taking that. You're not gonna take that away from her. Girl was brave. Don't take away bravery. I'm sorry. That makes me pissed. Thanks, Christine. Yes, but that's possible. That is possible. They've had a very deep rotation from even other smaller jobs in counties around Indiana that have helped. Think about the leak factor. Think about how many. To me, it sounds like over 5 years, hundreds of different investigators involved in this case, zero leaks, zero. So when you want to say law enforcement is trying to ruin this case, zero leaks. Figure that one out. They want who did this. But let's be real. And it's it's a police officer's death. They're going to seal that. Doesn't mean he was a bad guy. Let me tell you something. What you see as a police officer, it's hard, and you got to be able to pack it away when for the day you want to open it again. Not easy. Nobody calls the police for happy days. Remember that. FBI is still involved. Tip line. Yeah, no, it's still going through the Orion system. It is. Yeah. Misbehaved. Was it a misdirection? It's possible. It's possible. Those papers say that February 20th, 2017, the masked man was the reason they were on to Anthony Shots. So yes, he was, and there's nothing that implicates him. I know that people use him when talking about a certain person. I'm not even gonna get into his initials, but we don't know. Nothing to me is leaning towards that guy except for his truck being at the cemetery. There's nothing I see There's nothing I tie to him. So as of now, I haven't even given it a third look. Not even worth it. Yeah, Kim, that's pretty much anywhere. New York State, you are involved in a domestic, and you, let's say it's not even your fault, and you know you have firearms. Firearms are removed for the house until it's all worked out. That's just the way it is. You know. Wow. Hello to everybody. This is getting good. Wish you heard me in Fig's combo, but maybe after I ended it, it might be there. I don't know. Okay, Susan, that's awesome question. What three questions would I ask KK? Oof. I'd have to lead up to it. I would need more than that. I definitely would need more than that because he lies a lot, and you got to manipulate him. Kill him with kindness. They were trying to do that, and it when somebody when somebody's that bad of a person and is doing what he did to kids, you have to remember that that person is an animal, but you still have to treat him like a human being. That's just the way the law is. But there's ways to get into people's heads, and if you can manipulate them a little bit, and you see he's buckling. You know, when he talked to Barbara, he's now talking about his dad. He didn't want to talk about his dad back here. Um, a little bit, Kay. Yeah, a little bit. It's just I don't know. It's when you think of kids. I mean, I had a toddler who was killed by their mother, and we got her before she left the country. But you know, you just think of the cases you had, and you remember it. It's tough, very tough. Thanks, AJ. You're awesome. And Duke, they're interesting people. They're interesting people. You know, I mean, could open a window and hand each other stuff. Interesting people. I just thought Libby took video and murderers tried to disguise themselves on it by techie stuff. CD, I just don't want people to think I thought Ellie did. No, Christina, I didn't think that at all. Not for a second. I knew exactly what you meant. It's just you got to remember something when you're going against somebody who has a wacky theory like oh Libby's video is deep fake and you go against that, they're gonna try and manipulate words. I totally understand you. I didn't think anything of what you said. Oh, I have. I thought. Thank you. I do have it. I'll tell you when I could look. I will put in the comments of the frame I was talking about. To me, and it's listen. It's pixelated. It's hard to see. We went over it on Sleuth's channel like a month ago, 2 months ago. It had the dimensions of a taser, but again, it's pixelated. I don't want to put words in my mouth that I'm saying it's definitely a taser because I'm not, but it does have the shape of it in that image. I'm not following who that is, but that's okay. I like it. It's awesome. Thanks everybody for being here. Rebecca, it's tough. You know, it's not easy, especially when you're sitting across somebody who killed their daughter and tried to blame it on the new boyfriend. You want to talk about an effed up case? But we got her. Her daddy tried to hide her in the closet, but we got her. It's highly possible, Digital, that I believe in the beginning they did say it was over by 3:15, 3:30. Initial encounter at 2:13. You know, even an hour is a long time. It's a long time. You know, what would it take to get from where they were to the kill zone? Maybe 12 minutes, even if one of them ran and by them using the other to gain control of the other one. You have to think about what really happened out there. It's really effed up, but it's not a joke. It's not to be attacking somebody on Reddit. This is real. This isn't a joke. This is real. Yeah, Kim, you know what? It's not easy, but you do the right thing by people. Doesn't matter. You have to do the right thing by people. It's just the way it is. It's you have to follow the law. You know, you have to believe that justice gets served. Thanks, Christine. Bart, I don't like using the word smart. I had to stop myself because I don't want to call that animal a smart guy. But he had a routine that he found to work, and we don't know how many. He could contact 200 girls for just one to answer him, and that's all it takes. He's exploiting one other child, and he was able to be out there for 3 years and still hide in his room and do it. To me, the whole thing was an act. It all, if you think about it, it all makes sense of why even Daddy covered for him saying he moved to Vegas, because they wanted to make it look like he wasn't charged; he was still free, like he left the state, so he's not here to even bother with him. That's another reason that they could have been hiding the whole Vegas thing. No, no, I never worked a serial killer case. Nope, nope. Um, Mostly all the murders that we had, thank God, we were able to solve them quickly. We've had cases that went on and on, home invasions with beatings and whatnot, but no, I haven't worked a serial killer case. I mean, Duke, that's why the second sketch is different. It's totally different sketch. It's totally different. Could they overlap and meet in the middle? It's possible, but that's why we see his hair in the other one. Trying to catch up. Good. It's heartbreaking. It is. It's heartbreaking stuff. I told the story the other day how young girl went into kind of like a little dinerish kind of place, and it was the bathroom was in the back that you had to go into like an office setting where office doors were. It was like a community bathroom, and the guy working the grill followed her and attacked her, and she came running out, and we knew instantly what was going on. And hold on one second. I think my little guy might be up. 1 second. I'm back. So sorry. The little guy needed a bottle, and he is my clinger. He is my clinger. He's 18 months old, and if he doesn't have his bottle around 1, there's issues, big time. So I am back. He just chugged the bottle in about 3 minutes. It's not even a joke. Pounded it. Just going to the chat again. Christine, this is so true. And we think about what Kelsey went through she's a young kid when this happened, and her sister's just gone, just like that, gone. She was here, she drove her friend, and gone, taken. You know, she's dealing with it in the way she can. And everybody's got to give her that and let her be who she wants, who she needs to be. JT is so true. I actually shared that clip with on Royal that he just put on his channel, just like so you go watch. And it was the woman that was going for the Supreme Justice, and it was all based on CSAM and what they wanted them charged with, what they wanted them to go to prison for, and what she gave them as the judge in the case, and it was mind-boggling, man. Oh, I don't need super stickers. Don't worry about it. All good. Maybe you have any other questions? What else do you want to talk about? Susan, there's so much that's intriguing there. From Keegan just talking about his business that he had that was weed, and just take weed out and put CSAM in. Sounded like some kind of Netflix service he was running. Just all the way to when it gets you could tell it gets very heated when they're deep in Delphi and they're going over the polygraph, and it's getting to a heated point, and that's when the deputy steps out. Keegan, oh, this is one question. Keegan asked for an attorney once. Keegan was read his rights. He signed the rights card. He knew what his rights were. If he really wanted an attorney, he could have just shut down and don't talk anymore. Just keep saying you want an attorney, and that's not what he did. He was reeled back in quickly. It's just the way things to me are aiming at the father. TK's alibi and all that stuff. Well, Christine, what if you listen to Keegan, he was trying to give it like his normal Sunday, but he gave his normal Sunday for Monday because wrestling pay per view is on. It's on Sunday nights. I looked it up. I forget what the name of it was, but it was Sunday. The 12th was the pay per view. And people said, "Oh, you could pay for it the next day." I believe you could go on the WWE app and watch it the next day with your membership or whatnot. So they were watching a pay per view that Sunday night. So I don't think they were at Grandma and Grandpa's on Monday. I think I think law enforcement has that they weren't there on Monday. That's why they brought up that Keegan connected to Wi-Fi that wasn't at his grandparents, and also that it's minus 40. JT, I know minus 40 minutes with the live. I know. I don't know what happened, but Keegan connected to the Wi-Fi. He was trying to say he was at his grandparents. So they said, "Do you watch porn at your grandparents?" Because that's what his phone showed. And it showed it wasn't at the grandparents' house. Misbehave. I would send you a picture of him. I would never put him on here. I got some guy, throwing rocks at me on Reddit. I would never do that. JT, that's funny. I thought you were in the chat when it first started, and I tried to say it was April Fool's, but I was trying to upload a video and it just wasn't happening. But I will upload the video later, just on the channel that I was going to play earlier. It was just to just to hear the family and realize why we're all here. It's not about me. It's not about any of us. It's the girls and getting justice for them. To give a shit about me. It's not about me. I'm a father to my 3 kids. That's what my job is now. What would be the investigative purpose of changing a snippet detail in interrogation, the location of sleepover? Aspen, huh, I don't know if I want to answer that one yet because, was it told not to, was anybody told not to talk about that house? Remember this document shouldn't have gotten out. That has a lot of info in there. So are they trying to, push off that? It's a possibility, you know? I don't know. Yeah, they did not. He didn't go to his grandparents' house to watch wrestling. We know he was lying there. He totally was lying. He even admitted he knows he failed his polygraph. He said he failed his polygraph. He failed his polygraph because of it was such a traumatic experience what he was going through. But yeah, everything he done to the kids, and yeah, right. My dog's growling in her sleep. I don't know if you heard that. If you were able to do the interview with KK, what would you have asked tonight? Barbara did not, and why? Well, Barbara's not in, or doesn't investigate crime. She's great at media coverage, but law enforcement did a good job of what they did. There's things that I can't say they did anything wrong because everybody has their own style. So they did a great job they did a great job. I can't fault them. So it's not that I would change anything. It would just everybody gets their own style of how they're going to interrogate somebody. And Keegan even mentions how he felt that good cop, bad cop was going on. He felt that the county sheriff guy, deputy sheriff, was using the bad cop. But I just think the deputy sheriff wanted to strangle him, and he can't. So his words were a little more stronger towards him than the ISP investigator Vito. So it's just different styles. It's not. It's just when you're going to interrogate somebody, you start with why they're there. You start with the charges, which they did. They did it right. Everything was done right. It's just you. I might get something more from one person, and my partner might get more from another person. It just depends, and you feed off that when you're in there. You're not going to do it yourself. You're always going to, you, you know, I can't even talk. I don't want to get in depth in interrogations because somebody's twisting words around on me. So we'll leave that alone for tonight. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about another day. Innocence of what friend too huge for missing that one. Have you ever seen a case before that went on 5 years and Ellie refused to clear anyone? Personally, in my career, no, but we didn't have this case, Digital. And you got to remember the reason that if they're coming out and clearing everybody, what happens? What happens if there's ends up? I'm just giving hypo. There's 8 people involved, and something involves in 5 years with DNA, and they're able to get somebody that they cleared in 2022. That in 2027 he's implicated in the crime. So you clear him publicly, and now his lawyer's going to have a field day with you. That's why. That's the total reason why. And I get it. Sucks, but I get it. It is. It is. It's his whole search history was beyond interesting. He supposedly we don't know how many times he even listened to BG. He was listening for a reason. And then think about he went right into looking up cold cases. He was looking up different cold cases. Why? That's why was BG a plant? Not a fake person. Was he the planted contact to keep the heat off other people? Possibly. uh, I don't know. It's possible. I'm personally aiming elsewhere, but not ready to talk about it yet because it's too. It's not that I'm trying to hide anything. It's just too. I'm just going off my gut, and I'm not here to implicate anybody without feeling enough, and I feel enough for the other 2 losers. Had to blow up doll. What? Oh, that's awesome. You are hysterical. I want a picture of that. No, he wasn't referring to Monday Raw. Herman, he mentions the pay-per-view. It was a Sunday night pay-per-view event, and he mentions it. So he definitely wasn't talking about Monday. You could hear him if you just read it and just think out loud the way he's saying it. He was using Sunday for Monday. That's just the way I'm going with it. That's exactly how I felt. You're the best, Sonny. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I know you're live every night, and you were here tonight. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you. All right. So, what else do we want to talk about before we end this for the night? Because I'm over 2 hours, and I don't want little man crying again because he likes daddy in bed with him, my little man. Yeah, digital, but listen, it's not Tobe. Let's talk about that because that was a question to me. I've gotten an email 20 times. Oh, Tobe's guilty. Tobe is not guilty. Tobe looked shot at the press conference after the girls were found. Remember, this is his county. He was at the crime scene and headed over to talk about what they found, and they tried to be as brief as possible and not give much. But that man has it all over his face that he is crushed. He can't believe what happened there. So he's not guilty. It's bananas. And look, yeah, people tipped him in because of because of that presser. Yeah, does he look a little strange, like something's going on? Yeah, he just saw two kids murdered. Let's back up and think about that. So a 13-year-old, 14-year-old murdered, and what else was there? So yeah, misbehave. He was cleared. He talks about how he was implicated, but people still bring him up like he's like suspect number one. He's not. Stop it. Stop it. Thanks for the comment, Digital. I appreciate it. Thanks, Sammy. Sammy, you had a question, so tell me what it was because I remember seeing it, but because we were live for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and it wasn't working, I wanted to just hit the chat and just go with that. If KK thought there was any connection between his profile murders, he would have an alibi down pat. Never spoke to him personally. Yeah, but think about it. Who else? Who else did Keegan talk to? He's got his dad. You heard the friend talk that he's always in his room. He's always doing something. So it's not like he was out and about hanging out with different people. He was in his room talking to kids. I feel the 30 charges aren't enough. They're not enough how he exploited children of America all over. He could be even out of the country. You don't know how many people he contacted to get one to answer him back. And just think about what was in there and how he was able to manipulate Libby and all that. It's traumatic to that family. I feel for both families. I really do. I understand a little bit what they're going through because I've seen plenty of people have lost, but I don't understand that to a T, if that makes sense. But I got to get off. My wife's knocking. My little guy is up again. She's giving me the knock. So I got to go deal with him and lay with my little guy. We'll do this again. Any final thoughts before we go? Anything? Let's give it final thoughts. Oh, he's crying. All right, I gotta sign off. Thanks everybody for being here. Just adding a couple moderators that I see in the chat that I know are gonna help me out here. Misbehaved. You got a wrench. Misbehaved. I think it worked. Yeah, that worked. All right, guys. Well, I will do this again this week. I apologize, but we will do it again.